right?
We got tons of Jacobs around here.
You prefer Jake?
I prefer Jake, yeah.
Okay, all right. There, we got it settled.
Yeah, most people call me Jake around here. A few people call me Jacob, but
I do. I call
yeah,
old guys.
It's fine.
It's an old
not,
guy
I don't want
thing.
everybody to call me Jacob. I like when only a few people do.
Jake, over the summer, a couple of the former players were talking about how you were a guy that was to be looked out for. And what have you done that's kind of like, how did you get into this position?
Yeah, I think the main thing you probably noticed it was mainly most of the defensive guys like Mo and Dwami, Mike, and that was because I was on scout receiver. I was playing scout receiver all last year, so I was like, we usually were separate. So it's the defense and then scout offense and then scout defense and or scout offense and then defense over there. So I was with the defense most of the year, and I was making a lot of plays on the DBs last year, and I think that's how I mainly got noticed by those guys.
What was the feeling when you got that ball in your hands on Saturday?
I don't know. Initially I just wanted to see Dylan because I'm pretty close with Dylan, and it was a special moment that he threw me the ball. So that's all I remember really thinking is like, I want to see Dylan and give him a hug, and I was just excited. That's really the only way to describe it.
Did you keep the ball?
No, I didn't keep the ball. I should have.
Did they let you keep the ball?
I don't know. Maybe they have it. I'm not sure. People were telling me after, they were asking me if I kept the ball, and like that didn't go through my head at all until somebody said something. They were like, "Do you keep the ball?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't think about that at all."
It's really good against the rules.
Yeah. I mean, it was my first game at the big house too. Last year I dressed, but it was my first game playing at the big house, so that was be a good ball to keep. But
You just pick one up and say it was just
yeah, I know. That's what we were at the Spade's house after, and Mr. Spade was telling me that Wilton threw a 2-point conversion or something like that. It was one of his first 2-point conversions, and he said that he just picked up like a random ball. He's like, and it's in like a container in their house or like on display. So.
The one from Minnesota?
Yeah, that was Minnesota. Yeah. They were all asking me if I kept the ball. All the parents were, but Mr. Spade specifically told me that story.
The reaction afterwards on social media or your phone blowing up or whatever, is that anything that you've gotten before?
No, definitely not. It was a little bit this summer when like Mike and Mo and those guys were saying stuff about me. It was a little bit like that, but it was just obviously way bigger. It was mainly people from back home where I lived in Cleveland, and even people from Pittsburgh, where I originally was born and lived until the 5th grade. There were like people like tweeting about me from like even from that I haven't talked to in like 12 years. Like Pine Richland, you guys might know Pine Richland. They've been on ESPN and they played Cass Tech or somebody this year. But anyway, like they retweeted a tweet about me, and I was like, I played like Pee-wee football there. That's it. Like, yeah, like I forgot. I didn't even know you guys like remembered me, but that was pretty cool.
What's it like to be kind of like a claim to fame for them a little bit, as far as they're
cool.
being proud of you and
yeah, it was cool. It was really cool. Like I said, I had friends. Like a few of my best friends like retweeted stuff and tweeted at me that I hadn't talked to in like 12 years, and you know. That's a little special to me, just because, like, to see that, you know, I made it to like this certain point where they're noticing me, and even like Pine Richland, who like, I mean, they have like Phil Jakovic, who's playing at like he's at Notre Dame actually, and like all these dudes that are like playing at D1 programs, and like they still like recognize me from like the 3rd grade.
So
I actually played. Somebody tweeted at. This is kind of funny. Somebody tweeted at me, and they were like. They said, it's all that backyard football that we played, and another one of my friends said, yeah, but we were on like that 2nd grade or like middle white championship team, and I played center on that team. So I was like pretty sure I played center. I don't know if it was that. But.
So you reply to them, say, I gotta score a touchdown for you guys to give me a call, or what?
I'm sorry?
So they haven't contacted you in like 12 years. You replied to them like,
oh, yeah,
you got to score a touchdown for them to get a hold of you?
Yeah, I know. We lost complete contact. No, but it was all good.
What do you remember about the play development? Were you supposed to get the ball, or what do you?
Yeah. Initially, I'm not really sure where I am in the progression. I knew I was one of the main routes. I just remember looking at the leverage that the DB had, and it was a quick play. We got up right there and ran it. This is a quick play. I looked at the leverage that he had, and I remember I had to get outside and try to stack him a little bit. So that's really all I thought when I was running the route and when I looked out there.
I would probably a lot of you guys probably imagine, you know, scoring your first college touchdown, scoring your first touchdown at Michigan Stadium was a, I mean, 18-yarder from McCaffrey. That's not a bad one. I mean, how did it live up to what you hoped it would be?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I don't know. I never really thought about like my first touchdown ever. I don't know. I guess it's kind of like different, but I never really thought about it, like what my first touchdown would be, or like what my first play would be, or like my first catch. That never really like ever crossed my mind when I've been here. But it was definitely a special moment. Having like it was just specifically special with Dylan, and then like other guys that are on the field that are my best friends, like Joel Huntingford, Oliver Martin. I think Andrew Stuber might have been out there. True, you know, guys that I've really hung out with a lot and that I'm really close to are on the field.
How much has it helped going up against the, you know, all last year going up against the defense, the number ones and the scout team to finally, once you finally get out on the field and a situation like that?
I mean, it helps a ton. I've only ran like, that was basically the only route I've run against another team in the past, like, I don't even know how long, 2 years, I don't know, year and a half, whatever. It was a lot easier than running against our safeties, that's for sure. That route would have been a lot more difficult to run against our safeties, so I think it helps a lot, you know, continuously going against our DBs, like especially our safeties and our corners. They make it really difficult on us, so practicing against them has helped me a lot.
How many times have you gone back and watched the touchdown tape?
Yeah, I have. I mean, people have tweeted at me a lot about it. I've looked at the route. I can't give you a specific amount of times probably, but I've looked at the route a few times, and that's about it. Not a whole lot.
Just so you guys know, we have Donovan right behind you, so I don't want to hold him up. But if anyone wants to talk to Donovan, you can stay here with Jacob, but Donovan is here.
How much does that fuel you, though? I mean, obviously you don't want this to be your one shining moment at Michigan.